It is exasperating to hear claims that Peter Obi's administration in Anambra State lacked any commendable achievements. In December 2025, while I was browsing through my father's library, I stumbled upon an old popular Nigerian magazine, Newswatch. The cover story titled, "It is War, Do or Die, Anambra Guba Race," caught my attention. The lengthy article penned by Chris Ajero effectively laid out the foundation for what would eventually evolve into the obedient movement, a phenomenon that would shake the foundations of Nigerian politics. The obedient movement, as we now know, is a youth-led transformation that seeks to challenge the status quo and usher in a new era of governance in our Nigeria. The movement's origins can be traced back to the Anambra gubernatorial election, which was marked by intense rivalry and a sense of urgency as captured in the Newswatch article. Peter Obi's first remarkable and unprecedented accomplishment was breaking the one-term governor syndrome in the state. Prior to his tenure, the state had seen leadership from figures such as Jim Wobodo and the late Christian Ono of the old Anambra state, followed by Chukwuemeka Ezife, and in the current democratic era, governors like Chinwoke Mbadinuju, Chris Ngige, Virginia Itiaba, and Andy Oba. But none except Peter Obi was able to break the jinx. In his article, Ajero highlighted that Anambra was plagued by corruption, godfatherism, and wealthy sponsors backing governorship candidates. However, Peter Obi broke the mold and secured re-election not solely due to the power of incumbency, but because of the exceptional governance he brought to the state.
It is unusual in this country of ours. A man ruled a state like Anambra for 8 years. He wrested powers from the Uba, and they think that one is a softie. Somebody who can take power from the Uba. These were people who controlled Banuju, or whatever that one's name was. These were murderous people who killed Barnabas Igwe, the NBA chairman. I believe in it. Look, these were not easy people. Peter Obi fought them to a standstill, took over the state, made the state work to the point where people are clapping years after he had left.
Ajero's write-up on Obi's administration on page 21 of this magazine was absolutely captivating. He said, "If Obi, governor of Anambra State, overcomes the hurdle in his party, he is actually the man to beat in the 2010 election. He has the power of incumbency working for him in addition to the numerous projects, mark the word, numerous projects, infrastructure he provided in the state since he became governor more than 3 years ago. With his Anambra State Integrated Development Strategy, he has transformed the state so much that Anambrarians can now boast of good governance in the state. There is a good road network in addition to changes in value orientation of Anambra people, the better. His numerous achievements in various sectors, health, education, and the economy, and developing a master plan for the development of Oka, Newi, Onitsha for the first time in the history of the state, stand him out of all the candidates." End of quote. This magazine article was published on October 12, 2009, when Peter Obi was still heading the government of Anambra State. As governor, Peter Obi discovered that rural poverty was largely due to the lack of access for agricultural businesses to urban areas. He addressed this issue by constructing bridges and roads, thereby improving connectivity. Under Obi's leadership, security measures were enhanced to such an extent that by April 2014, Anambra State was declared the safest state. Channels Television confirmed these achievements.
stormed the compound of a notorious criminal suspect.
During the Anambra State governorship debate in 2021, the present governor Chukwuma Soludo bragged with Peter Obi's achievements in Anambra by quoting data from National Bureau of Statistics, saying that under Obi's government, Anambra had the lowest unemployment and poverty rates.
Let me tell you, for the records, Anambra State has the lowest unemployment of any state in Nigeria at 13%. National Bureau of Statistics, not Anambra State numbers. Anambra State has poverty rate declined from 53% under Peter Obi to 14.78 as at last year. National Bureau of Statistics, not our own numbers. Anambra State has the lowest underemployment rate at 17% of any state in Nigeria. National Bureau of Statistics.
Obi's achievements and enviable personal qualities combined to form the seed of the obedient movement. The obedient movement has since evolved into a broader collective and transcends traditional political, religious, and ethnic affiliations. It is united by a shared vision for a new and better Nigeria, driven by values such as transparency, accountability, and respect for diversity. The movement continues to inspire and mobilize young Nigerians, shaping the nation's political landscape beyond the 2023 presidential election. However, some political analysts and commentators remain skeptical about Obi's chances in the 2027 presidential election, considering his failure to defeat the All Progressive Congress in the 2003 election. Analysts argue that beyond the frenzy of youth support, Peter Obi requires a more robust political strategy to overcome the APC in the next election. In other words, no political figure or individual party can secure victory with just the support of the masses alone. In this context, analysts are suggesting a political merger among opposition parties. According to them, the three major political forces in Nigeria today are the Labour Party, People's Democratic Party, the PDP, and APC. To effectively address the current political dilemma, Labour and PDP should unite and put forward a single presidential candidate. This strategy would be the most viable option to unseat the APC. Additionally, all other political parties should rally behind a unified presidential candidate. Should this idea be implemented, a large-scale political campaign rally could boost the prospects of candidates running for various offices. If the current situation persists, rather, the APC might retain an advantage.
I actually subscribe to both school of thought. We need both. But if we're going to arrange them in ascending order, I believe we need merger, then electoral reform. And I have my own reasons to back my hypothesis. I believe, first and foremost, you need to secure the trust of the people. In politics, just like war, it is not won by conviction, but it is rather secured by alliances, strategy, and foresight. So the practical aspect of politics is not about honor or ideal or doing what is right. If you want to do what is right, you must be there in the first place before doing what is right. Because in a socialist society, rule of law is a law defined by the ruling class. And the ruling class can never define any law that will contradict their own interests. So for you to change anything, and any law is subjected to the trickery, political trickery, is subjected to be bypassed by the political class. They might give you what you want and bypass it. So what's the essence of it in the first place? But once you gain the trust of the people to your side, then you start thinking about securing that numbers to your side. I want to be plain to you, without any political filter, without merger, there is no politician among the three top politicians that is going anywhere. Because looking at the makeup of the country and understanding the motive behind every region that controls the vote of every region, it is very easy to decipher that no candidates among the opposition, the top three, is going to stand on his own and win election come 2027. For example, northern part of Nigeria, the drive there is religion. Although this factor is declining, but it is still there. While the factor in southern part of Nigeria is tribalism. So for you to have this conflicting opinion and to find a perfect balance and perfect equilibrium to win election, you need to have merger. And that's what happened 2015. Buhari had been contesting from 2011 to 2015. But he failed 3 times in 4 attempts. He won 1 when he understands that he is going nowhere on his own alone. He needs the political forces to come together. Because whether we like it or not, there are people behind the scene that are controlling the process. And it is not always that your vote counts. This political class influence the votes. And I believe that there are a lot of inaccuracies and discrepancies in our electoral process. But it is not as worse as we like to believe. There is some certain level that if achieved, it will be very, very hard to manipulate. For example, I'll give you an example with these 4 states. Plateau State, Nasarawa State, the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and Lagos. I'm giving you this example for you to understand the context. Lagos, for example, voted for Labour Party. Plateau State voted for Labour Party. Nasarawa State, although all the 4 states voted for Labour Party. Why is this so? Because the people there betted their blood for Labour Party, not just supporting Labour Party. There is a difference between an ordinary support and betting a blood. When you bet a blood, nobody will dare even think of manipulating. Because in a political rigging, in rigging election, you need these 2 institutions. Once you lose one, you need the other. The first one is the organized and accepted institution of governance in that state. Then second, you need the masses. Usually, politicians are appealing to the base emotion of fear, greed, revenge to conquer the people. So once you leave, the people are living in kind of confusion. They don't chart any path to follow. It is very, very easy to manipulate election there because the people are not clear about what they want. But once the people are clear of what they want, in the case of Plateau State, for example, they know who they want and they know who they want to vote. The only thing you do there is to reduce the vote. So in a case whereby the margin is so wide, I don't think there is anything that will make the sitting government to scale. So let's do this simple mathematics. All the 4 major candidates, the current president won in 12 states. Atiku Abubakar won in 12 states. Peter Obi won in 11 states plus the Federal Capital Territory, making it 12. And Kwankwaso won in 1 state, that's Kano. So the difference is in the influence of the party. APC have more than 12 states, more than 20 state governors, and PDP have more than 10 state governors. NNPP have an influence in Kano, and Peter Obi is accepted across the board in the country. But I say something, popularity is not enough for you to win an election. you need this political class also to be on your side to some reasonable extent, even if not all of them, but a segment of them needs to be with you. So the advantage here is not to give you a state, but to give you the necessary requirement you need. In each and every state, you need 25% at least, a threshold by INEC. Because even if you have the popular vote, you need 25% in at least 2/3 of the states in the Federal Capital Territory. Going by that, you need alliance, looking at the makeup of the country. So after we get this, that's why you believe with me that no politician is talking about electoral reform. It is only from an activist lens of view that people are talking about electoral reform. But from a political perspective, you need merger than electoral reform.
Moreover, with the Anambra State gubernatorial election fast approaching, analysts are labeling the upcoming November 8th, 2025 vote as a critical make or break moment for Peter Obi and the Labour Party. Activist Sam Osemene suggests that if Peter Obi is no longer a member of the Labour Party, he should clarify his status before the election. If he remains with the Labour Party, on the other hand, now is the time to set aside differences and unite in the effort to defeat the incumbent Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo of the APGA. If the Labour Party faces defeat in Anambra State, the opposition will seize the opportunity to undermine and criticize Peter Obi. The narrative will be, if he can't secure a win in his own home state, Anambra, where can he succeed? Nevertheless, Anambra's internal political dynamics are unique, with the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, having maintained control since 2006. Governor Soludo has been lauded as a paragon of good governance, excelling in areas such as extensive road construction, employment initiatives, and youth empowerment programs. The security issues in Anambra State could have significantly impacted Soludo's administration. However, the launch of the new security operation, Udogachi, and its ensuing successes seem to solidify Soludo's electoral victory as a foregone conclusion. Consequently, the Labour Party's chances of victory appear slim. Nonetheless, this may not affect Peter Obi's support base, as his reputation is already firmly established among the obedience.